So we are closing in on 6,000 subscribers. We have picked up over 150 subs in just the past 7 days, and it's all credit to you guys. But my goal, I'm setting my goals high, just like the Vikings have their goals set up high as well. I want to hit 6K by the time the Bears-Vikings game gets underway at 12 p.m. on Sunday. Go down, hit that subscribe button, keep you posted with all Vikings news, rumors, whatever it may be. Go subscribe down below. Welcome to the Vikings Now. I am your host, Patrick Siepman. Welcome to my Vikings-Bears NFL Week 5 game preview. This is a battle. I love playing against the Bears. I grew up in Chicago, but I was born in Minnesota, so I have a ton of Bears fans that are my friends, and every time we play the Bears, for me personally, it's got a little extra juice in it. But the Bears are rolling in to Minneapolis, Minnesota on Sunday, October 9th with a record of 2-2 to the shock of a good amount of people. And the Vikings obviously sitting at that 3-1 record, which some Vikings fans have feelings about that. But I would be diving into my keys to victory in today's video. But like I said, the 2-2 Bears versus the 3-1 Vikings, it's going to be a ton of fun. But my number one key to victory, if you're looking at this Chicago Bears team, you have to get after Justin Fields. This Bears offensive line is shaky. Justin Fields, I'm sure you guys have seen the stats. He has struggled this year. Justin Fields is a guy, yes, his legs are dangerous, but through the air so far this year, a 50% completion percentage, only 471 yards. This is not one game. You guys are reading this right. This is the entire year. 471 yards on the entire season with 2 touchdowns and 4 picks. But if you're looking at this Bears offense overall, if you look at their ranks, total yards, 295 30th. Passing yards, obviously only at 97 a game at 32nd. But the rushing yards, and I'll dive into that a little more later. They run the ball pretty damn well at 177 rushing yards per game. Points per game, only at 16. But my overall takeaway when going against Justin Fields, you can't take him lightly. Justin Fields had a great game against the Vikings last season. And normally the Vikings, they do struggle against mobile quarterbacks in the past. The Vikings are always, I feel like whether it's Mitch Trubisky or Justin Fields last year, the Vikings have struggled against these mobile guys. I feel like this is a typical trap game in Minnesota where the Bears come in and they're running the ball pretty well. And then the Bears get themselves in the 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s. And yes, you may take away Justin Fields' first and second options, but his legs are able to pick up the first down. Don't take him lightly. Get after Justin Fields early and often. My second key to the game, Kirk balls out. Honestly, last week I thought Kirk played all right. We'll hop into some film right now on Kirk really missed a lot of opportunities. And we'll throw up this picture from them in the red zone. I counted 3 missed touchdowns for Kirk Cousins. So the guy I have in yellow right here, this is the guy Kirk Cousins throws to. And the guy in red, that's Adam Thielen. That's who Kirk should have thrown to. It's a simple high-low concept. You're pretty much reading this guy right here, where he will bite. He bit on the Johnny Munt running the flat route. He had Adam Thielen wide open in the corner of end zone. This ended up the Vikings settling for 3. And now this one. This was a blatant wide open one that Kirk just missed. He had the flat wide open. He just took the check down. But if you look up here, Justin Jefferson running wide open for another corner route touchdown. For some reason, Kirk just struggled with these. This was another opportunity where the Vikings had to settle for 3. And then this was the last one. This one was the one that was most blatant on the broadcast as well. Adam Thielen, this was on a 3rd down, running that short same little flat route, and Justin Jefferson running that corner route. It's honestly been the Kevin O'Connell special on what he likes to do is that high-low concept. He took the check down, and he took Thielen when Jefferson was wide open. So I think Kirk, he left a couple opportunities on the field. But if you're looking at what he's done overall this year, he hasn't been bad. 63% completion percentage, just over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I'm not saying Kirk Cousins has been awful this year, but I do think Kirk, he will be angry. And hey, this is my favorite joke for Vikings fans. Angry Kirk Cousins, plus 12 p.m. start Kirk Cousins, this is a top 5 quarterback in the league. This is going to be a top 5 quarterback rolling in this Sunday. It's not a primetime game. This is not Kirk when he's kind of lackadaisical-like personality that he normally has. This is a pissed-off Kirk Cousins. I'm sure he's seen in the film room all week, and a 12 p.m. start. Top 5 quarterback. But, hey, get down in the comments. This will be the pinned comment on today's video. predict Kirk Cousins' stats versus the Bears. If anybody can get the yards and touchdown right, I'll even give you like 5 yards leeway here and there to predict it. I'll give you a shout out on the post-game video Sunday following the Bears matchup. Get down in the comments. This will be the pinned comment. I want you guys to let me know, how do you think Kirk will play Sunday versus the Bears? Third takeaway, defend the NFC North. The Vikings are starting off 2-0 in the division with beating the Packers and Lions at home. This would just be another great start. Looking at the NFC North standings right now, the Packers are 3-1 on a 3-game winning streak, and their next 2 games are against the Giants and the Jets. The Packers are going to be 5-1 after the next 2 weeks. The Vikings, you just can't take the Bears lightly. You got to defend the NFC North. You've already beat the Lions at home. You've already beat the Packers at home. This just needs you start the division off 3-0 with that division record. You're setting yourself up really nice to win the NFC North. And if you want to bet on the Vikings to win the NFC North, we got a sportsbook sponsor for you guys. If you go to BetUS, and if you go to chatsports.com/bet, and you use promo code chat125, we'll give you a 125% deposit bonus. What does that mean? You put $100 into your account, you'll get $125 free to play with. And you can go bet on the Vikings, who are now a 7.5-point favorite. That just seems too high to me. I don't want this team thinking they're going to roll in or go into U.S. Bank and roll over a division rival. I would maybe be leaning towards honestly betting Vikings money line, Bears spread, just to kind of hedge my happiness a little bit. Over-under sitting at 44. So if you go to chatsports.com/bet, use promo code chat125, you can bet on your Minnesota Vikings. My fourth key to victory, this is one you could say any week for the Minnesota Vikings or any team. Stop the run. It's kind of a duh statement. But if you're looking at the Vikings' defensive rankings this year, total yards given up, 407, not good. Passing yards given up, 263, not good. Rush yards given up, 131, not good. Points per game somehow sitting in the top 12 in the league at only 20 per game. But I do think this Bears team, like I mentioned earlier, they're averaging 171 yards per game on the ground. They're going to try to come in here and kind of dominate us in the trenches. And here are the Bears' leading rushers this year. If you guys don't know, Vikings fans know about David Montgomery for sure. But if you guys don't know, Khalil Herbert, he is an absolute dog for the Chicago Bears. He was a rookie last year in his second year, and he's really played well. Then Justin Fields, he has 34 carries for 147 yards so far this year. So I do think Fields, his legs, you're going to need to take that away, turn Fields into a pocket passer, make him uncomfortable, make the other team, make this Bears offense do something they don't want to do. They want to sit back, hand the ball off to their great running backs all day, get some quarterback powers going, turn Fields into a pocket guy, let him go through his progression, let him go through his reads, and let's get after Fields and take away this run game. Now, what say you? Do you trust this Vikings defense against the Chicago Bears? I'm assuming I'll see a lot of yeses since it is the Bears. But in general, do you trust this Vikings defense moving forward? Type Y for yes, N for no. I'll love to hear what you guys have to say on your trust level with this Vikings D. Fifth takeaway, let Jefferson cook. Man, any single Vikings game, any single time he is going to step on the field this year, I say he's probably going to be the best player on the field. Jefferson was fantastic against the Saints. He had 10 receptions for 147 yards and a rushing touchdown. So what do I say? You move them all around the field like you did versus the Saints. He was great against the Saints, moving all around. He was in the slot. He was at the X. He was in the backfield a couple times, and this just really helped him avoid double teams. I really think Kevin O'Connell, after the last 2 weeks against the Eagles and Lions, how easily teams were able to run that bracket coverage and really double down on Justin Jefferson. I think Kevin O'Connell adjusted, was able to move him around a lot more, and then when Jefferson did get those one-on-one opportunities against Marshawn Lattimore, who's a great lockdown corner for the Saints, he won. And Jalen Johnson for the Bears, I don't think he can hold Marshawn Lattimore as a true lockdown corner. Jefferson had success against Lattimore. I expect him to have the same success against Jalen Johnson. You just got to move him around. And now, follow me on Twitter, guys. If you guys want to stay updated with the latest Vikings injury news, Lewis Cine, he did have a successful surgery yesterday. I posted on our communities tab Shout out to him. He's going to be in London for a little bit while, but it is good to know it was just a clean fracture, no ligament damage, so he's recovering. Andrew Booth Jr., we haven't seen him yet this year. He's still doing with that quad, our second-round rookie out of Clemson, so we'll get more updates on him throughout the week, and that's why you guys need to make sure you're subscribed and follow me on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for watching my Minnesota Vikings Chicago Bears preview. Let's go Vikes.